In this video, we're going to take a look at a few of the heuristics that make up the FIRE method. As you'll see, heuristics don't offer firm direction. They don't tell us exactly what to do. Instead, these are the general protocols and guidelines we can use as we make our own decisions about how we're going to proceed, and as we solve problems in uncertain situations. We're just going to look at a few, and that's on purpose. This course doesn't present a comprehensive list of every possible heuristic, because that list doesn't exist. Instead, I'm just going to share a representative sample, showing you the type of thinking that goes into the FIRE approach. This is a jumping off point for your own reflection, discussion, and experimentation. My hope is that it will help you develop and express your own guidelines, your own rules of thumb, in whatever type of work you do. Okay, here's the first one. Constraints foster creativity. When our resources are limited, when we don't have enough time, money, or manpower to solve a problem in the usual way, we're forced to get creative, and that's a very good thing. You see, constraints take the obvious solution off the table and require us to consider the non-obvious solution. Frugality thus serves as a forcing function to stimulate imaginative behavior and imaginative thinking. So how does this affect our behavior? How does it influence our decisions? Well, if we believe that constraints foster creativity, we will institute some constraints and express restraint on our projects. Trying to solve problems by adding time and money is the non-restrained approach, and it doesn't deliver very creative results. Instead, if we embrace our limited resources, we'll find inventive ways to get the job done with what we have. The result of this minimalist approach is a distilled essence of what really matters. Establishing tight constraints can help prevent over-engineered solutions, bloated software, and incoherent PowerPoint decks. It helps keep us on track and leads to better, more focused, more creative solutions. Another of my favorite heuristics goes like this. To finish early, start early. And it turns out, with a little creativity and forethought, we can even find ways to start before we start. One of the ways to do that is to always be playing, experimenting, sketching, and starting. That way we'll always have a ready collection of ideas and partial prototypes to draw from as new requirements and opportunities emerge. The idea is to proactively maintain and continually refresh a stable of material that we can tap into, rather than passively waiting for a particular need statement to come our way. A related heuristic to this is this one. Don't finish everything you start. Yeah, it's important to finish projects, it's important to ship them, but it's also perfectly okay to begin something and then set it aside unfinished. That isn't necessarily wasted effort. We can think of it as a contribution to our collection of pre-started projects. It just might end up giving us the leg up we need on a future project. Another way to start early is to leverage other people's work, with proper attribution and permission, of course. The thing is, we don't need to invent every wheel and gizmo that goes into our project. Sometimes the right answer is already out there, waiting to be incorporated and used. In fact, a related heuristic is this. Someone has already solved your problem. It's actually pretty difficult to come across an entirely unique problem that no one has ever encountered or solved before. We can save a lot of time and effort on our part by leveraging these existing solutions. So I hope this gives you a sense of the type of thinking that goes into the FIRE method. Check out the Heuristics Worksheet for a list of some additional guidelines and rules of thumb for your consideration.